Welcome. There's going to be some links down below in the description box, as always, to credit where I'm getting my information from. So, Brock Lesnar has been officially removed from the game as a playable character. However, his files remain intact, which means that at some point, people through creation, editing, are going to be able to play as Brock Lesnar. Now, when it comes to the showcase, there's a lack of transparency again from the devs at 2K. We don't know if Brock Lesnar's in the showcase, and then if he's in the showcase, chances are it would be the match against The Undertaker from WrestleMania 30 in 2014, where the undefeated streak was ended. Maybe you only play as The Undertaker. I don't know. It'd be weird because then you'd be forced to lose. So we don't know how that plays out, and that's the part that actually pisses me off. It's very bizarre how they go about deciding who and who's not going to be in the game. If we were to dig up dirt on everybody, we would only have like 10 or 15% of the total roster. I am not here to start anything. I want to make that abundantly clear. I am just here to share with you the information. You make of it as you will. Okay? So I want to say something, and I'm not trying to downplay what is going on, but I believe in innocence until being proved guilty, okay? I myself, some 20 years ago, went through some similar allegations. Oh, he said this, he did that, and it never happened. And when the person saw how serious it was becoming, they said, look, I made it all up. Okay? Maybe that's why I'm taking this to heart a little bit more, but even if it wasn't for my own personal scenario some 20 years ago, I still like giving people the benefit of the doubt. Okay? Till it is undeniable, irrefutable proof shown that you did or said something. For the most part, I'm going to remain neutral because I would want other people to do the same to me. Okay? So he's out, but then you'll have people like Rick Steiner, for example. And I'm not saying he should or shouldn't be in the game, by the way. This is not what this is about. But last year, he went on a rant, on an anti-trans rant against Giselle Shaw, who's a transgender superstar with TNA. And he then later apologized the next day in private with like a bunch of people. She chose not to attend. He was removed from WrestleCon. But he's in the game, right? So you get to spew all the anti-trans stuff. You're in the game. You say the N-word and you'll be put in the game 3 times. What I'm trying to get at here is not poke the hornet's nest. It's to rip it apart for what it is. Again, I'm not saying he should or shouldn't be in the game. That's not what this is about. My opinion doesn't matter. But where do you draw the line? Right? Why is Ric Flair not in here? Why was he not in the game last year? Where's Sergeant Slaughter? But you have fucking Boogeyman in there. I don't have anything against Boogeyman. Everybody that steps into the world of professional wrestling brings a unique dynamic to that world, however big or small. So I thank him for his service, even though I never really saw his service much at all. It is what it is, but he's a legend. But you'll have somebody like Sergeant Slaughter, who's not only a legend, but he's also an ambassador to the WWE, as is Beth Phoenix, and about 5 other ex-superstars that are ambassadors as well. He's not in the game. So, this is a joke. What did Ric Flair and Sergeant Slaughter do that was so terrible that they can't be put in the game when they are still officially contracted by the WWE, but you can have Boogeyman in there? You can have 3 versions of Hogan in there. 2 Macho Mans. 2 Molly Hollies. You see where I'm going with this? It just kind of Bizarre. So Chris Benoit's not in. Okay, I get it. Me, I'm one of those weirdos, if you want my personal opinion now in closing. And this is not going to sound good. But I'm going to say it anyways, and it might be slightly controversial. If you were ever a part of this world, the WWE world, if you ever partook in this world, you are a part of history. Whether right or wrong. Okay? You can choose not to boast and gloat about certain individuals. Like I probably wouldn't do much about, Chris Benoit was such a swell guy. I mean, murdered his wife and his kid, then hung himself. But, aside from that, like I would never downplay that. I would never upstage him, but I would still include him. He was a part of history. I don't like censorship. I don't like removing, canceling, and then cherry picking. We don't get one Ric Flair, but we get 3 Hogans. I know I keep going on about it, but my brain just doesn't understand, right, how that works. Add them all. They're a part of history. Superfly Jimmy Snuka apparently killed his girlfriend like 50 years ago. That's terrible. That's awful. Put his ass in the game. He's a part of history. When you vote for a president, I'm saying president to you because 99% of my small fan base are Americans. I'm Canadian. We have a prime minister. Nobody cares about that. Let's say you go to vote for Biden or you go and vote for Trump. You're not voting and supporting and standing by everything they've ever said and done. Because there's some not so nice things that Biden and Trump have both said and done in the past. What you're doing is you're voting for somebody that you think can get the job done to restore America the way it should be. The way you think individually it should be. Okay? Because only one person can run the country at a time. So you vote for that person. Yeah, but he said this. Yeah, but he said that. Bitch, I'm not voting for that. It's the same thing with this. Maybe you want to recreate the Eddie Guerrero-Chris Benoit match. Right? That doesn't mean that you support what Chris Benoit did. Okay? Maybe you want to beat Chris Benoit's ass in. Like, let us make that decision. Let us make that choice and let it not be such a taboo thing. Just because he or she is in there doesn't mean you're supporting everything they've done. Otherwise, like I said, the roster wouldn't have 232 people. We could go down the list of people and start fetching dirt and digging it up on all these people, and a lot of people have some not so nice histories behind them, although Bobby Lashley has one of the best ones. It was like a sergeant in the Marines or something. I'm not too good with the terminologies, but he's like, this is the real deal. Like, this is like, wow. He's like, he should be on the cover of a goddamn game. But yeah, there's just a lot of people in here that's like, oh, if you only knew this, if you only knew that. And it just shouldn't be that way. It really, really shouldn't be that way. And you shouldn't be shamed into thinking, you know what? Yeah, Lesnar should be in there. So he wanted a little pee-pee, a little urination, because we don't know. I don't know the whole scope of it all. What was his alleged involvement? How much did he know? Maybe he thought Vince McMahon was just ribbing him because they were pretty close. Maybe he thought he was joking around. It's like, oh, yeah, Janelle, she's going to urinate for you. Like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's have her fucking piss in a video. You never meet the girl. You ask her politely to urinate. That gets you canceled and removed from a Royal Rumble and all that. But if you hurl anti-transphobic slurs and scream out the N-word, they'll make 3 versions of you in the game. That's what I'm getting at. Where do we choose and decide, yes, no? I don't know about that. Well, yeah, all right, fine, whatever. You're in. You? No. You're out. Now, if you are in this world, you're in this game. Assuming like legal matters of like licensing and stuff like that. Like Jake the Snake Roberts is with freaking AEW, he's in the game, and I'm very glad he's in the game. Okay? Where's Ric Flair? Why didn't they tell us about them removing Brock Lesnar? Why couldn't they have just have said, due to the recent allegations made in regards to certain individuals, we have decided to pause the release of these superstars as playable characters in our video game until further notice, until further information is brought to light in regards to these allegations. We believe in innocence until being proved guilty. However, we feel that for our product's integrity, we simply wish to, at this time, distance ourselves from the controversy until further notice. You know, their files are still implemented in the game. If we find and feel comfortable with the re-inclusion of them, we shall do so in a future update. I don't know, just something along those lines. Even if you don't agree with it, at least you're transparent. You're telling us, you're communicating with us, with the people that are shelling out in the upwards of $200 for the WrestleMania 40 edition in Canadian dollars. I want to know what I'm buying, who's in it, who's not in it, right? Just be transparent. We still don't know for sure if Brock Lesnar's in the showcase or not. We just know that he has been annihilated. Oh, and this is just the whole thing. Like, if you wanted to read on the Rick Steiner thing, it's been like, I'm 97% sure that this actually did happen, because he did do an apology, not publicly but in private with a bunch of people. There was a bunch of witnesses that heard him hurl those things at the convention and whatnot. I'm not saying there's not a chance that it didn't happen, but I'll admit I'm more on the side that this probably did happen, right? And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Put them all in there. Put them all in there, especially for the amount of money that we're spending. Put them all in there. Put Biden and Trump in there so we can have them kick the shit out of each other, right? That would be the epitome of a handicap match. That's probably going to get me canceled. Okay, thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. A thumbs down if you didn't like it. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your rectum. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be fantastic now, wouldn't it? But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. So in closing again, this appears to be the final roster. Right here. There's the article from IGN. It's all over the place. And then this was just like, if you wanted to look into that. Like, this is just like one example of many. Like I said, you can really dig into a lot of people's past and find some not so good things. Whether it's, Stone Cold, anybody. There's just so much crap on so many people. And if we just keep digging up and judging people by their past transgressions, you would have no roster. You'd have like Bobby Lashley and, Adam Pearce. That would be it. Kind of thing, right? So yeah, take care, and maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.